Well, nothing has changed. That's the message from FBI Director James Comey tonight, following his agency's bombshell announcement that it was investigating a new batch of Hillary Clinton emails.
Director Comey announced late Sunday that his agency has poured through thousands of those emails, and the Bureau's decision in July not to bring criminal charges in this case will stand. Hillary Clinton, for her part, chose not to focus on those findings while rallying voters today. Instead, she focused on soothing a nervous electorate ahead of this all-important and tense presidential vote.
A lot of people feel left out and left behind. There's fear, even anger in our country. But I've got to say, anger is not a plan, my friends. If we're going to harness our energy and try to overcome our problems, then we got to start talking to each other again. And we have to get good ideas wherever they come from.
Clinton will rally in Philadelphia tonight, where she will be joined by President Obama and the First Lady, as well as rockers John Bon Jovi and Bruce Springsteen.
Hillary Clinton is being protected by a totally rigged system. And now it's up to the American people to deliver justice at the ballot box tomorrow.
Well, Donald Trump, who just last week praised FBI Director Comey for taking a close look at these new emails, lashed out at Comey and Hillary Clinton on the campaign trail today. He slammed the new FBI findings as rigged, and he also accused Hillary Clinton of being the ultimate Washington insider benefiting from the game.
Folks, the system is rigged. It's rigged, okay? The system is rigged. At least we know it. And people in this country, I think because of us, have never known it so obviously as they do now. The system is totally rigged. Hillary Clinton should not even be allowed to run for the presidency of the United States.
Well, in the last day of this campaign, Trump is completing a rapid crisscross of the United States. He rallied voters in Florida, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, and Michigan.
Well, with fewer than 24 hours now until the polls open, a brand new Fox 5 Opinion Savvy poll shows a tight race in Florida. Hillary Clinton is pulling 48% of voters compared to Donald Trump's 46%. But those numbers are well within the margin of error. And we want to bring in our Fox 5 political analyst, Matt Towery, now. Matt, I've communicated with lots of viewers who say they're skeptical about these polls. And you and I were having a conversation. They may have some reason to be.
I'm skeptical about these polls this year as well. Let me tell you why. We have an unusually high turnout in many of the battleground states, and we have an incredibly high turnout in Georgia in early voting. That means that many of the weights that we use for the various demographics and polls might be off. We might have one group weighted too high, another one weighted too low. I'm not sure about anything tonight. I'm sure of one thing. I told you this was going to be an all-time turnout. I believe that's going to be true. And secondly, I believe it's going to be an incredibly close race. It's going to be much closer than any poll is suggesting tonight.
Is there a specific issue that's driving this dramatic turnout this year?
Yes. The wackiness of the two candidates. Their personalities are what are driving this campaign, both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. This is the true reality show, folks. And as I said before, it's like the Truman Show. Everybody wants to see if Truman gets out of the bubble or not. That's what's driving this race. It's no one issue anymore. It's a combination of their personalities and the way they come across to the public, and these whipsaw things like the FBI situation that's gone one way and another way and another way. This thing is like an incredible novel or movie that you couldn't even imagine. That's why people are voting like mad.
All right. We heard Donald Trump say the whole system is rigged. Let's get back to the polls for a second. Is this a situation, because some people I know believe this, that the pollsters are intentionally skewing the numbers to help one candidate, or they're just plain wrong?
No. In the polling world, you get beat up by the experts if you don't perform well. And the pollsters all talk to each other, and they read all the same online areas and talk to each other. So they want to be within that area. So none of them want to break out of the mode and change their weights very much. As a result, you have a few polls that are very disparate. You have a few polls that show Trump way up. You have others that show Clinton way up. The ones in the middle are trying to be in the middle. The fact is, Pat Caddell, who was the pollster for Jimmy Carter in 1980, has said this is going to be a massive turnout and a shocking result.
All right, well, that takes us to our next point. Thank you so much, Matt. We appreciate it. Georgia's Secretary of State is promising that it will be an efficient and accurate election here in our state. Secretary Brian Kemp started touring state election sites early this morning. He says more than 2 million Georgians have participated in early voting, with only 25 official state complaints under investigation. And one of those investigations is into a machine in Bryan County, which reportedly counted votes for Hillary Clinton as votes for Donald Trump. Well, Kemp says it appears that machine and others under investigation had trouble with calibration, but he says this does not mean that those machines were flipping votes.
Before you cast your ballot, please carefully review your choices on the summary screen. If you have any issues, you should contact immediately your poll worker in the precinct where you will be voting. If you have any other problems that you wish to let us know about regarding voting, you can visit the Stop Voter Fraud section of the Georgia Secretary of State's website or call our 1-800 number.
Well, anyone who wishes to report voting irregularities or fraud tomorrow can call the number here. It's at the bottom of your screen, 877-725-9797.
And do depend on Fox 5 News for complete coverage of Election Night 2016, both on air and online. We will have streaming coverage of Election Night in Georgia starting tomorrow night at 7 on fox5atlanta.com and our Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page. Plus, you can watch Fox News coverage from around the nation starting at 7 o'clock here on Fox 5. And then stay tuned for Fox 5 News at 10 and News Edge at 11 for complete coverage.